Which animatronic takes the crown for the most aura? We all know Glamrock Freddy is a true Sigma, but he has to go against some of the most drippiest, aura-farmed animatronics of all time. Like Roxy, who truly cared for her best friend, but low-key one of the most complex characters. Everything in between, all the way down to some of the more dorky characters like Monty, looking like he got the skibbity virus. But can Monty beat Glamrock Freddy? If you didn't know, Monty actually looks up to all the characters in the band, so much that he actually takes Bonnie's spot. Now some say this is not true, but let me tell you, there's a lot of proof in the Ruined DLC. When you deactivate all the wet floor signs, you literally see Bonnie's body with giant claw marks. Some believe it could be Chica, but we all know she wouldn't damage her nails. I mean, come on, look at her nails. But Monty didn't stop there. In Security Breach, we see Freddy left in a dumpster, and Monty steals his role as the lead entertainer. That's not very Sigma. Now, make sure you watch to the end, because we're going to be talking about a friendly version of William Afton that could take this whole entire thing. Alright, so Monty's out and moving up against Candy Cadet. Now, he's been through it. If you give Candy Cadet some credit, the man's running on fumes after surviving 2 fires, but yet he still gives out advice and candy. That's aura. But could he beat Glamrock Freddy? He's the OG animatronic. The only one not connected to attacking children, or so they say. There's a time where Glamrock Freddy became violent. He would do anything to protect Gregory, even destroying his friends. Shoot, he even burned down the entire pizza place. But let's be honest, we all played with fire at some point in our life, plus it stopped Afton from controlling the other animatronics. At the end of the day, Candy Cadet just rolls around telling stories looking like a knockoff Wally. You'd never really see him saving the day. Next, we got Puppet. If you remember, Puppet was made by Henry to protect Charlie, but let's be honest, Puppet didn't do her job. She's kinda mid. Charlie still got cooked up by William, then she starts crying, and now is seeking revenge. If it's based off appearance alone, Puppet can't win. She literally looks like she belongs in Poppy Playtime. Now at the same time, we can't be too hard on her. Puppet was the only animatronic to cry. When Puppet failed to protect Charlie, we see tears on its face. Now we all know Sigmas don't cry, so Glamrock is gonna move forward. Plus, Freddy would never let that slide. When Gregory's in danger, Gregory could just climb inside Freddy and he's safe. Alright, let's move on to a man's best friend. Not a dog, but a fox. Rockstar Foxy. If you remember, Fazbear Inc. made a story about Foxy. He was the greatest pirate in his crew, but one day the captain of the crew was abducted by a group of tribal balloon boys. Foxy had adventured out on his own to try and save the captain. He did, and was crowned the Pirate King. Some might say this is not a real story, but it is. It was a story created around the time of FNAF 2. They featured the toy animatronics. One was Toy Foxy, but he was ripped apart by children and became known as Mangle. The story of the Pirate King was told to cover up the Mangle committing the bite of 87. In Ultimate Custom Night, Rockstar Foxy could either attack or help the player. If he helps, he gives the player a special perk. Now, that would be very Sigma, but the perks, it's pretty trash. Like Foxy gave Gregory a soundproof perk, and the animatronics, they don't even have working ears. But look at Freddy, he gives Gregory the drippiest watch. He definitely dropped at least 5,000 V-Bucks on that thing. This pushes him up and he's gonna go against Eclipse. He literally looks like he got Gucci flip-flops on. This will be tough to beat. Just look at his stare, it's something else. It screams aura. This animatronic was programmed to keep the kids occupied at the daycare inside the pizza place. Eclipse emerged from the good parts of Sun and Moon. This actually allows him to be the friendliest version of himself. He's friendly on the outside, but deep down on the inside, he still has elements of Moon, meaning he can go evil at any time. We see this from his dialogue. Now obviously there's two sides of him. You got Moondrop, which comes out when the lights go off. He's scary and kind of loses some drip. He kind of looks like he shops from Ross in this form, which is, I have no problem with Ross. But in the second form, Sundrop, he's actually energetic and friendly, but still unstable and actually scared of the dark. You can't have aura and be scared of the dark. So Glamrock has to move forward. Okay, now he's gonna go against his best friend, Bonnie. They are best friends. Even the posters show their friendship. If Bonnie was not cooked up by Monty, he would likely be the coolest person in the band, playing the electric guitar. But did you know Glamrock Freddy actually gave Bonnie that instrument? If you look closely in the DLC, there's a cardboard cutout of him giving his guitar to Monty, and that's pretty Sigma. But what about Roxy? Well, Roxy can sense other people's aura. That's why she was able to recognize Cassie with no eyes. There's even another poster that shows shows how close they really are. Roxy could take it, but before we decide that, let's look into the new version of William Afton. Now this is what we call Aura, chiseled jawline, tailored suit, meet William. But in this version, there is no pizza place, but Freddy's ultimate funland. This is an animatronic powered amusement park where robots operate the rides, serve food, and entertain guests. In this version, William protects the kids, but there's still an issue. He charges extremely high prices for food. Like, we got a churro that's not even made warm, costing $15. That's literally almost as much as the battle pass on Fortnite. Like, that's borderline robbery. So because of that, we have to give it to, Roxy. She has to take it because of her loyalty to Cassie, and her aura is unmatched. But what do you think?